If you are a Warriors fan, I know exactly how you have been feeling. Years of watching the team compete, adjust parts, bet on solutions that almost worked, but always with the same pain. Lack of real defensive impact, lack of someone to change the game when things get tough. Now breathe, because that may have changed for good. Jaren Jackson Jr. He's not just another name. He's the type of player who solves an old problem, protects the rim, raises the level of the squad, and changes the way opponents view the Golden State. Stay with me these next few seconds, because what happened behind the scenes explains why this exchange could be the turning point fans have been waiting for years. Before moving on, do the following with me now. Subscribe to the channel, because here you won't miss any movement that really changes the future of the Warriors. Leave a like. This really helps the video reach more fans who are feeling exactly the same expectations as you. Activate the bell to receive everything firsthand, because when the news breaks, we go live, and it won't go away. What's coming now explains why this exchange is not just an immediate impact, but a decision that could redefine the Golden State for years to come. If you've been following the Golden State Warriors for a few years, you know that there are moments when the feeling changes. It's not just another season, another trade window, or just another rumor. It's that point where everything seems to be at stake at the same time. Past, present, and future meet at an uncomfortable crossroads. And that's exactly where the Warriors are now. I want you to think with me calmly. How many times in recent years have we looked at this cast and felt like something was missing? Not talent, not effort, but real impact in decisive moments. That piece that changes the reading of the opponent's game, that changes the game plan on the other side of the court before the ball even goes up. This feeling is not new. It has been built little by little, season after season, as the franchise tried to balance two ideas that rarely coexist well, competing now and preparing for tomorrow. And at the center of this conflict is Jonathan Kuminga, a young, explosive player with clear potential, but who never managed to occupy a clear space within the team's identity. With each game, with each rotation decision, the question became more uncomfortable. Is he part of the solution, or just an asset waiting for the right moment to be transformed into something bigger? Now, with the clock ticking and the date on which it becomes officially negotiable knocking on the door, this doubt is no longer theoretical. It becomes practical, becomes urgent. That's why seemingly simple debates like comparing Podziemski and Guisantos carry much more weight than they seem. It's not just about who delivers the most today. It's about understanding which profile the team values, who they trust when the game gets tough, who fits into a gear that still revolves around Steph Curry. These debates are symptoms, signs of a fan base that feels that something needs to change, even without knowing exactly what. Behind the scenes, this feeling is not exclusive to fans. Around the league, the perception is growing that the Golden State is ready to move forward without Kuminga if the right proposal appears, not because he is a failure, but because time doesn't wait. A player's window as Curry is not eternal, and each postponed decision exacts a price that does not appear in the spreadsheet, but weighs on the legacy. It is in this scenario that a name capable of completely messing up the board emerges: Jaren Jackson Jr. When this rumor started to circulate, many people turned up their noses. It seemed distant, unlikely, almost too bold. But when you look at it coldly, you begin to understand why this possibility makes so much noise. We are not talking about a bet. We are talking about a player at his physical peak, defender of the year, capable of scoring, space the court, and transforming the defense of an entire team. Jaren Jackson Jr. solves problems that Warriors have carried for years. Consistent rim protection, physical presence without compromising offensive spacing, versatility to change markings. He's not just another good player. It changes the way the opponent attacks the Golden State, changes decisions before the play even begins. And that, in playoffs, is worth gold. The detail that makes everything even more interesting is the context of Memphis. Rumors of dissatisfaction, uncertainty about Ja Morant's future. A scenario that could lead to a deeper reconstruction than previously imagined. When a player of Jackson's caliber begins to question this process, doors open ajar. And Warriors, experienced as they are, know how to recognize a gap when it appears. But nothing comes without cost. To bring a name of this level, the Golden State would need to bet big, very high. Kuminga would be in the package, along with key rotation players and draft picks that would shape the future of the franchise. It's not a simple decision. Is a statement, is to say, clearly, that the absolute focus is on the now. And then Steph Curry comes in. Not the icon, not the brand, but the player. Every season that passes is one less season at its peak. It doesn't take away from who he is, but it makes every opportunity more valuable. When you look at the current roster and the options available on the market, it's hard to ignore the idea that if there is a trade capable of maximizing what's left of this era, it involves a player like Jaren Jackson Jr. The problem is that the market is not limited to a single name, and the front office knows it. Therefore, the radar expands. Trey Murphy, Michael Porter Jr., even Giannis Antetokounmpo have been associated, at different levels of realism, with the Golden State. In the case of Giannis, the league itself treats it as a distant dream, something that would only become viable with an offer outside of any known standard. Still, the simple fact that this possibility exists influences all other decisions. This is where Michael Porter Jr. comes as a separate dilemma. Offensively, he is experiencing the best moment of his career. High scoring, absurd efficiency, size and jump shot that fits perfectly alongside Curry. On paper, the combination seems perfect. But Brooklyn's asking price is hefty. Future choices, promising youngsters, squad depth. Accepting this agreement means, in practice, closing important doors for the future. And there is a detail that complicates things even further. Brooklyn does not see Kuminga as a central piece. This involving a third team, adding layers of complexity and risk to an already delicate negotiation. The more parties involved, the greater the chance of something going wrong. The greater the chance of the Golden State losing in some invisible aspect at first. At the same time, it's impossible to ignore what Porter Jr. offers today. Immediate production, age compatible with both the present and the medium term, a contract that provides predictability. From a rational point of view, it makes sense. From a strategic point of view, it raises profound doubts. Because every choice now redefines what will be possible tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Kuminga clock keeps ticking. Its market value is no longer the same. Inconsistent minutes, undefined role, decisions that directly affect the perception of other franchises. And as if that weren't enough, the Lakers appear interested again. A fate that, for many Warriors fans, sounds almost like a nightmare. More than that, a destiny that would hardly yield a return equal to what could be obtained in more ambitious negotiations. All of this brings us back to the central question, not about specific names, but about direction. Does the Golden State want to squeeze out everything that still exists from the Steph Curry era, whatever the cost? Or do you prefer to keep one foot in the future, even if it means accepting clear limits in the present? There is no easy answer. There is choice, and every choice carries renunciation. That's why this moment is so tense, so fascinating, so decisive. We are not just talking about an exchange. We're talking about identity, legacy, how this franchise wants to be remembered when this era comes to an end. Decisions like this don't come around every year, sometimes just once in a decade. And now I return the reflection to you. If you were in the meeting room, with all the numbers, reports, and pressures on the table, which path would you choose? Bet everything on Jaren Jackson Jr. and try to change the balance of the league immediately. Pay the price for Michael Porter Jr. And accept the offensive impact as a priority? Or trust that internal development can still surprise and sustain this transition? More than that, looking at today's game, who really delivers more immediate impact within the Warriors' logic? This answer says a lot about how you see the present and the future of the Golden State. And that is exactly why nothing that is happening now can be treated as just another rumor. This is one of those rare moments when a decision resets years of history. The Golden State Warriors are not choosing just one player. They are choosing which version of themselves they want to take into the future. Each scenario that opens up carries a huge risk, but also the real chance of returning to the top of the league while there is still time. If you want to follow all this in real time, understand every behind-the-scenes movement, every silent negotiation, and every decision that could change the franchise's destiny, don't stop here. In the pinned comment, I left the Golden State Warriors News Today playlist with all the most important updates, in-depth analyses, and news that you won't see in the shallow way it appears out there. Get on the playlist now, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter could arrive at any moment.